it is difficult to defend a movie like Interceptor because, and it gives me no pleasure saying this, it is simply one of the worst movies of the year, hands down. Hey everybody, Glenn here from Screen Realm, here to review Interceptor that, let's put it this way, I have watched so you don't have to. It truly pains me to say that because this Netflix release is more or less an Aussie action thriller, which is an all too rare type of genre flick. You know, we don't produce enough of them. Plus, it's also made by first-time director, acclaimed author Matthew Riley, has Chris Hemsworth, the husband of the film's lead, producing, and features a who's who of Australian faces. I did really want to like it, and to some extent, I kind of enjoyed it, but more in the same way that my cheapness will lead me to think that I'm actually enjoying scoffing down stone cold home brand chicken nuggets. So gross, but they'll do, kind of thing, until the next morning's bathroom visit. But I do digress. The film has Spanish actress Elsa Pataky, and I do hope I'm pronouncing her name right, from the Fast and the Furious series, playing the highly skilled army captain J.J. Collins, who returns to duty after being sexually harassed and humiliated by a general. She's sent to a high-tech facility in the Pacific Ocean, which is America's first line of defense against foreign missile strikes. And then on day one, she finds herself under attack by domestic terrorists, of course she did, who have aligned with Russia to completely obliterate the United States. So, I guess, imagine Die Hard at sea as if it was produced by those folks at the asylum who made the Sharknado movies. Except that this one lacks that goofiness that some stoners could have at least had a laugh with. This movie is just preposterous. From the outset, Pataky's casting seems to be at complete odds with the story. The character's Spanish accent and background is explained by a really simple and tactless throwaway line referring to her time spent in Spain. And from the moment that she steps foot into the control room, the movie just completely opens itself up to ridicule. Let's start with the cringeworthy set design, which looks as though the team received hand-me-downs from the production of a late 1980s Doctor Who series. And then there's the stilted dialogue and the rudimentary fight sequences, which conjure up memories of bad after-school television programming from the 90s. As an Australian co-production with America, Interceptor does offer a showcase of familiar and forgotten faces, which does provide you with an I Spy sort of distraction from the overall calamity that's happening. Luke Bracey from 2015's Point Break and the upcoming Baz Luhrmann's Elvis plays the villainous mercenary with little effect and a very flimsy MO, while Colin Friels plays Pataky's father and has enough makeup foundation caked onto his face to be mistaken for an Aardman character. And then there's appearances from the likes of Rhys Muldoon, Zoe Caritas, Aaron Glenane, and Paul Cesar. And I will admit, it is a genuine pleasure to see their faces on the screen. The problem is that no filmmaker has ever really dared to make their debut film such a high-concept film, and whether it was ignorance or arrogance that convinced Matthew Riley that he could do it, I guess we should at least applaud him for trying. So in terms of his books, you know, Matthew Riley has long been able to conjure up really action-heavy narratives with Hollywood blockbuster, flair, but when it comes to on-screen like this, he's just sadly out of his depth. Filmmaking, of course, is no easy medium for a first-time filmmaker, let alone a seasoned professional, and to have delivered a product at all is an achievement, yes. But a story of this magnitude requires an expert touch. Perhaps, a couple of smaller projects beforehand may have provided Riley with some of the experience required. Which brings me to the most curious name attached to the film, which is Stuart Beattie, whose stamp on Hollywood is unmistakable. As a screenwriter, his credits include films like Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, Collateral, Australia, and 30 Days of Night. And he seems to be the most qualified person amongst Interceptor's crew. And it is said that upon reading Riley's initial script, Beattie said that he loved it and offered to rewrite it. And if this is indeed the case, one can't help but wonder what the original script was like if this is the result of further work. Anyway, look, to sum it all up, Interceptor is abysmal, and most discerning viewers will hopefully figure that out before wasting too much time. Netflix is actually a good spot for the film, seeing as most subscribers aren't throwing away too much money to watch it. Had this been a theatrical release, then I imagine it would have been accompanied with severe audience outrage. I probably would have been on the front line picketing that myself. So I give Interceptor half a star out of 5. Watch something else instead.